This week, a Texas woman set her boyfriend's house on fire after a woman answered the phone. A 16-year-old confessed to killing a 13-year-old over an Instagram video chat and then had the audacity to ask somebody else to help them hide the body. And look, in justice news, mom stabs pedophile to death.
Police say a 16-year-old boy shot and killed a 13-year-old. Investigators say the suspect confessing to that crime on social media.
It was on Instagram. It was literally on Instagram.
We're learning from authorities that the 13-year-old victim's family members did meet with the coroner today, but still, Gray, 3 days after this crime was committed, still the police, the district attorney, and the coroner refused to release the identity of that young victim. We're also learning more information about the day that the murder took place.
I need a motive. Clock is ticking. I need a motive. If it's a child killing a child, I mean, obviously, there's no reason. There's no excuse. No nothing. It just doesn't compute in my brain. It won't let it process.
This 16-year-old, identified by police as Joshua Cooper, who also went by the name Ash, is behind bars charged with murder. Police say he shot a 13-year-old to death inside this trailer home in the 1400 block of Gibson Road on Friday. It was during an Instagram video chat with a friend on the day of the murder when police say, quote, Cooper advised he had just killed someone. And the friend Cooper called observed on the screen what appeared to be blood and the legs and feet of a deceased human. Cooper then requested help with disposing of the body. But the person in the Instagram chat contacted authorities. When police arrived to the trailer, Cooper fled. And
that's right. If somebody called you, just like the way this happened, and they on an Instagram phone call or whatever, and they showed you the body and said they needed help, please, you're calling the cops, right? I mean, I know it sounds dumb, but some of y'all would freeze. Some of y'all would just be like, I didn't see nothing. I'm not in that. I'm calling the cops, okay? Sometimes I do be sitting here like, oh, I'm blind. I don't see this. But when it's something like that, I mean, you have to. It just blows my mind that sometimes people won't say anything because they're scared. I almost want to get it. You feel like you're talking to a murderer, but here's your chance to put him behind bars. It just happened. The body's still there.
Bensalem police quickly apprehended Cooper.
Bye, Cooper.
The affidavit states he immediately confessed, saying, quote, it was an accident. He's sorry, and that he's going to jail.
Oh, it was an accident, but he wanted to hide the body.
Investigators say Cooper said he was cleaning out his dad's safe and sorting through the guns and ammunition before the 13-year-old was dropped off at his home. And the suspect is being charged as an adult, but is being held in a juvenile detention center. He is expected back in court on December 7th.
Man, I just feel like there's going to be some kids on TikTok. They're talking about it was an accident. Listen to Cooper. No, if Cooper wanted to hide the body, it was not an accident. They knew what they did. And also, going inside of a safe with guns in it, you had to put the code in. You didn't just fall on the safe and type the code in. That's not how it works. That acquaintance told police that Cooper flipped the video camera around and showed the feet of the 13-year-old victim covered in blood. Cooper allegedly asked that friend to assist with disposing of the body. No! Absolutely not. The girl told her mom, who immediately called police. The affidavit also states that during an interview with Cooper's mother and police, Cooper claimed at one time he was in a sexual relationship with the victim, and there was substantial evidence that someone tried to clean up the crime scene. It was no accident. That excuse is immediately thrown out the window when you tried to hide your crime. When police arrived at Cooper's home in response to the report on the video chat, they saw a young man who they believed to be Cooper running out of the back of the residence. So the police show up and then Cooper just books it. He was sitting there trying to clean up the crime scene the whole time after he asked somebody to help get rid of the body. The 13-year-old victim, whom was identified by the family based on the jewelry she was wearing, was discovered by police inside the residence with a large caliber gunshot wound to her chest. That is absolutely terrifying to me. Being a 13-year-old girl going to your friend's house and you've got a large caliber pistol pointed at you. Maybe because you didn't want their advances. Maybe, I don't know what for, but this is your friend and now they're holding a gun at your face. Cooper was later located and arrested. It was right outside of the trailer park, they said. As he was being taken into custody, see, this is the part that really gets me. The complaint alleges that he was making unsolicited utterances, saying he was sorry and he's going to jail for the rest of his life. This is exactly what type of person Cooper is. After he murders someone and tries to get away with it, It's a pity party for him. He's going to jail for life, but she's dead. He's sorry. No, you're not. You just tried to get away with it and you were unsuccessful. The complaint also alleges that Cooper said he accessed his father's safe earlier that day, opening it by reinserting the batteries that his father removed. He told detectives that he was sorting ammunition and removed, reorganized, and replaced the firearms that were on a piece of shit. Texas woman sets boyfriend's house ablaze after another woman answers his phone. This is some of y'all. It really is. I know it is too. Soto is charged with burglary, habitation force, a second-degree felony, and first-degree felony. The homeowner told authorities that Soto broke in, set the house on fire, and stole several items. The sheriff's office said Soto was in a romantic relationship with a family member of the homeowner. Oh my God. Wait, don't light anyone's house on fire. But who was the chick? Soto was on FaceTime with her boyfriend when another woman, who later turned out to be his relative. You're a criminal and you're stupid. I'm sorry. I can only imagine like one of my cousins or my sister just answering the phone like, hey, he's out right now. He'll be right back. And this woman just going nuts. I don't know. Let me get some more details. Soto became upset, went over to the boyfriend's house and lit the couch in the living room on fire. Oh my God, dude. You couldn't have a conversation. Kick the door down. Expel a little of that anger and confusion, okay? Look, I mean, don't do that. But it's just, was there any dialogue after she answered the phone, or would she just go click? A still photo from the fire shows the flames appearing to spread to the rest of the home. The fire ultimately caused more than $50,000 worth of damages. She's gonna have to pay that. While the house was on fire, wait. Does renter's insurance cover that? While this is a scary thing to consider, you will likely be covered in this type of event. Personal belongings coverage include fire and vandalism. Intentional damage by someone else should be covered under your renter's policy. Well, somebody gonna pay for that. This is what happens when you let your emotions take over, people. Think logically, take a breath, take a beat. Maybe ask, who is this? And what is your relationship to my significant other? Take a breath. Take a beat. Mom stabs pedophile to death after he abused her children. Not guilty. Just crack myself up. If you live in the U.S., there is a National Sex Offender Registry. I like to remind people of this because when we move into a new neighborhood or we're, even in your home you're in now, nobody looks it up. Like, we just don't think about it because people don't talk about it enough. Granted, if you put in your address and you find out, there's somebody 2 houses down, I'm not saying like show up there with a gun, but like watch your kids, okay? Watch your kids. UK woman Sarah Sands stabbed Michael Pleasted 8 times in 2014 in a determined and sustained attack, which saw him bleed to death. 77-year-old man. Being a creep. Being a nasty. He was already a convicted pedophile, and he had changed his name from Robin Molt to conceal a long past of offending against children. Why is this allowed? How does this happen? I don't know. This is in the UK, but are they allowed to just change their names? Her 3 children told her that the dude that lived across the street had abused them, and she took matters into her own hands. Is it fucked up that my first question here was like, was it immediate? Did she just run across the street with a butcher knife? Did she like think on it for a little bit? Was it like a wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning and do the Lord's work? Like, I really don't know. Her boys, who have waived their anonymity, have told how they thought their mom was a hero for killing their abuser. Bradley, who was 11 at the time, said, I thought, hats off, I'm not going to deny it. That's crazy, though. I mean, man, I probably wouldn't even move out of my mom's house. I'd be like, they say the Lord protects you, but mom is right here. She is right here, ready and willing. Lord willing. Oh my God, this is him. Yeah, he looks like a little creeper. Also, isn't it kind of disturbing that it looks like he's wearing it looks like a Santa hat or something. Okay, maybe not. But the thought of him like being involved in any Christmas activities really creeps me out and I don't like it. Anyways, not guilty.